Alright, so I had a backup plan. Hopefully you guys can hear me alright. If anybody has a Twitch account, let me know. Hopefully it looks okay. It'll be slightly less good quality than you would normally be watching on YouTube because I'm streaming it, but it should be similar. Testing. I'll listen for it myself. Testing. Okay, we're good. Alright, so you guys can hear me. Should be working alright. Looks good on my end. So we're basically just going to be leveling a lot. I'll run a couple viewer castles if you guys want me to, towards the end. First thing that I wanted to do is show you guys how easy it is really to find dirt farms these days, and that their change with targeted attacks didn't really do what they wanted it to do. For the last couple of days I've looked for a dirt farm. It took me about 5 minutes for the past 3 days to actually find one. Basically I just look for 0 crowns, and then knowing the names of the dirt farms at level 30 is a big thing as well. So for people who are looking for good gear and looking to level up, if you have access to this region, it's pretty easy to find dirt farms. I'll just run through this one real quick. I'm not going to do dirt farms for this entire stream though. I'm going to show some other things, attacks from random castles, stuff like that. Because it's a little bit more exciting than just running through dirt farms all day. I also need to double check to make sure that this stream is being recorded on my computer so I can upload it to YouTube for the people who missed it. I'll do that after I get done with this. Good to see you, good to see you. Yeah, YouTube was giving me some problems. I don't know what was going on. It ended up like my preview just kind of turned into my live stream like instantly, and I was like trying to preview it like a half hour beforehand because that's what YouTube recommends you do. But for some reason it just said I went live, and then it was still on the countdown, and then it said just like starting soon. So I was like, okay, we're just gonna move to Twitch. It was a good idea that I set up my Twitch beforehand, just in case. But yeah, it's still pretty easy to find dirt farms, so their nerf on targeted attacks didn't really do what they wanted it to. The main thing is what I'll show you at the end of this, is you notice how this guy's shield isn't actually up. And the reasoning behind this is this guy's quit from a very long time ago, and he has no resources in his chests. And if you don't have any resources, it actually doesn't put your shield up, if you have nothing to steal. So this guy will constantly pop up in people's searches when they go through like the level 30 to 32 region or whatever. That being said, I understand that some people can't make it to that region until after you're like 27 or so. And obviously, it's not foolproof. Sometimes you don't find dirt farms for 10 minutes or so. But out of the 4 days I checked, I found dirt farms 3 times within about 5 minutes of searching. Alright, but we're not going to do that all stream. Let me just double check to see that this is being recorded locally on my computer. Alright, it looks like it is. We should be fine. Alright, cool. Alright, so,
Another successful job for Black Eye Bogart.
first things first is for people who are probably around the level 20. I started doing this right at 24, and this was the first place that I started farming.
Sucks to be you,
You could
buddy.
probably do it at about 22, but I wouldn't do it any lower than that because it does have a couple Defendatrons. But this Snouter Fortress here, it's actually pretty similar to a dirt farm if you can't find them and if you don't have access to this level 30 to 34 region. Because access to this, if you refresh for about 5 minutes, you'll be able to find dirt farms. Look for people who have 0 crowns. You can either test them if you don't know the names of a lot of common dirt farmers, or if you know names, you can just look for those. But in this region, Snouter Fortress, I'll do a run of this really quick. I'll probably do quite a few runs of this towards the end of this stream as I'm just trying to like gain experience. I plan on doing this stream until I make it to level 28, so that'll probably be about an hour, hour and a half. And then I'll do, you know, some random stuff like viewer castles or whatever for you guys. So basically you can just kind of grab all of these Snouters. And Knights will have a lot more trouble dealing with this because they take more magic damage and they're ranged units and stuff like that. And basically all the big mobs, you just want to headshot them as you walk by. Hunger bots aren't a big deal, but there are a couple Defendatrons. And the Defendatrons are on AoE, so you don't want to have those blocking your volleys and stuff like that, or it really will reduce the time. Actually, it looks like I skipped the Defendatrons somehow. I wonder if they changed this, like, since yesterday. Oh no, their Defendatrons are behind me. I don't know how that happened, but that might be a little bit problematic. Watch me die. That would be great. Yeah, I'm gonna use a potion just to be safe. Anyway, you're supposed to kill these Defendatrons. I don't know how I missed them. But as you can see, this gives pretty good experience, and it's a level 27 castle, so up until 28 you can find items for your level, which is really the big deal. You want to find items your level, you know, as you're leveling up, because people don't want to just grind for items all day. But as you can see, I already just found like an epic, I think? That's an epic, not a legendary. Epic, yeah. I'm still confused about the colors because they changed them like 2 patches ago and I was used to them before. But it's pretty easy. And it's quite a bit quicker in getting gear. I would say it's at least like 4 times as quick getting gear with this. Sometimes something gets stuck though. And that's probably the most annoying part, is if something gets stuck inside of this level. It takes quite a bit longer. Where is it? Alright, well I'll kill this while I'm here. I'm guessing it's a spider. No, that's a Snouter. There it is. Okay. Yes, you'll still get an EXP, but you will not get the items that you come out with for some reason. I don't know. I tested it yesterday. I thought before you got items, unless you died. But I think the change to the tombstone, where if you quit the castle it drops a tombstone automatically, it actually like procs the death condition instead. So you lose all the items that you come out of the castle with. So if you run through that castle and say you only got greens and you got nothing good, you could probably just quit the castle from there and be fine. But since I got, you know, legendary, I guess this is a legendary. I don't know the difference, but I think purple's the best. I'm pretty sure. 4. Yeah, these things have 4 abilities, and this one has 3. It's a terrible weapon, but I wanted to make sure. I have a ton of extra stuff in here that I can sell off. I guess I should probably at least look at the yellow stuff, because one of my capes was actually pretty good and it was yellow that I found last patch. Alright, and then it looks like I found another thing. Pretty terrible. This gear here, I've had this gear for, I don't know, I think I found it in patch 14 or 15, so it's been 3 months, and I haven't really replaced anything. Because since they changed, like, 2 or 3 patches ago, they changed how gear works, and they changed the drops. They basically made it random stats instead of, like, fixed items, and most of this stuff, except for this cape here, is all from when it was fixed. Like, you won't even find these items anymore, I don't think. Everything's a different name now. Like Amulet of Awesome and Ring of Amazement, these type of things. I don't think you can even find these items anymore. If you can, I haven't ran into them. But this is all the gear that I found. This bottom row is the gear that I found this patch so far, patch 18. None of it's really any upgrades for mine, even though it's, 3 levels over. So hopefully I'll find some gear that's actually worthwhile. But some of the level 30s that were here, all the way up at level 30 when I was finding my gear, and the people who found their gear, like, I'm not sure if I can find them. I think, like, Poker Plate or whatever is one of them. He's, like, got the best gear for a mage that I've seen, if he still has it on him. How do I look at you profile? Yeah, so he has 833 DPS, but like, his gear is pretty good. He actually only has level 24 gear for a lot of stuff, so I guess it's not as good as it could be. When I was leveling up, though, I was envious of his gear, but I guess my gear is pretty similar now, and I'm only level 27. We'll attack this again. If you guys want me to run your castles, you can just throw your names in there, and I'll get to them. Throw your names in chat. I know some of you guys don't have Twitch accounts, but it doesn't require you to validate your email, I don't think. So you can just, like, throw one together really quick, and it'll allow you to type in chat. But I'm really hoping that I can find some good gear this patch. The thing is, a lot of the new item things that the item properties are actually pretty bad. Like, I would still prefer to have crit chance, crit damage, and DPS, as opposed to, like, explosive strike, because it only procs 5% of the time. It does pretty good damage when it procs, but it only procs on auto attacks, so you might see it once in an entire castle. I think... Did I miss the Defendatrons again? I don't know how I'm missing them. I was doing this, like, a lot yesterday. Yeah, I did. And it goes so much smoother if you don't miss them. Because of that, you can hear all of the shots being defended. Still probably the quickest way of leveling, unless you want to, like, find a dirt farm somehow. Alright, there we go. I also have some pretty good magic find items. I think I can get myself up to 23% or something. So that helps a lot as well when I'm farming and trying to find items. I use that to find the gear that I have now. I'll show you that set as soon as I get out of this castle. And again, it's locked. I could leave this castle though, because I haven't found anything good. So I'll just do that. But yeah. I have like 4% there, 3% there, 6, 6, 2. I think that's everything. So if I put it all on, I have 23% magic find. I have some in another one of my items, I just don't know. This one right here, Ring of Amazement, has 2%. And that drops my DPS down to 432, so I can only do castles with, like, Snauter Farm or Derp Farms or something like that. But I'll put all my gear back on. What am I missing? Hold on, I have to figure out what I'm missing. Oh, my cape. Okay. I keep forgetting that I have a yellow cape. Alright, so Judo, we'll run your castle real quick. Nice spooky theme.
What's yours will soon be mine.
I wish I was level 30 before that challenge, that competition or whatever, started. I would have wanted to play that so badly. It's unfortunate. Alright, so because I'm level 27 now, I actually just one shot headshot your Mega Mutton. I have the same gear, but the level difference is crazy. Can already feel it. Alright, so pretty standard setup here though. You got a Mega Mutton pull with a Scorpio. Stairmaster pulls. I think I remember your castle actually. I think I did this before and I mentioned that I liked this with the visual trick that you had here. You know, as you're coming up this way, the wall here blocks your view of this. That's really the only way that this works. How often does this work, by the way? What's up, Adam? How often does that Stairmaster pull actually hit people? I'm pretty interested in that. Because I'd like to throw a couple more of them in my castle when I rebuild it. I just can't seem to figure out a way to make them work at least half of the time. I mean, I guess half of the time is a little ambitious, but... Oh, alright, you got a flanking Jimbo. I ended up pulling 2 groups. That's fine, though. Yeah. They're actually spinning when coming down that hallway. That's pretty interesting. I usually only do it when I'm facing completely down. Because, like, with how castles are these days, is like I have so much extra time now, right? I think they buffed the timer quite a bit. So, I want to add Stairmaster pulls so I can actually kill people, but I just can't see them working that often. I don't think I've ever gotten pulled by one since the patch came out. Maybe once. I don't know. That was good too. Another visual trick that you had there. Yeah. The timers, that's what I hear from the forums, is the timer's just crazy now. And I've been getting looted a bunch more as well. I think I got looted maybe twice last patch, and I've already been looted this first week, like 2 times as well. You can see it in my gold, I've gotten looted a bunch. With Life Force, I had like all of my mines maxed, and I had max tombstones, because I was maxed in resources last patch. I'm just not sure how you can really get the sustained DPS you need. I mean, four potions isn't a ton for like level 30s and stuff. I guess I'll probably... I'll be leveling my castle up to 28, so I'll use Explodifiers a bunch when I remake my castle. Because I feel like those will be pretty good. Although they're really big on time wasting, not really on damage. I guess if you can force people to pull multiple groups, you might be able to do enough damage to them. I don't know, if they keep doing those competitions or whatever, I'm going to be a lot more psyched up to build a castle that I feel like is like viable. Because my last change for patch 17, I really just like rotated all of the rooms around and stuff. I didn't do all that much different in terms of mobs. I took out my Stairmaster pulls and I rotated the rooms around so that they would have to use camera rotate as much as possible. And that's about it. But that was good enough for that patch. Yeah, I don't know. I think it used to be that gold was worthless, and now they changed it so that life force is kind of worthless. Although mob upgrades is still a pretty big deal. It still costs quite a bit. But I don't know, they switched it a little bit too much. They made too many changes, I think, to the economy. I don't mind it that much, though. It's pretty easy to find resources if you can loot people. And nowadays, I mean, it's even easier, so... Like, I'm sure by the time this stream ends, I'll be maxed on everything again. I might even upgrade some mobs. But I don't really want my castle to get upgraded yet, because I have to rebuild it before I upgrade it to 28. Oh god, that's gonna kill me. I'm so glad I'm level 27. If I was 24 again, that would have killed me. Yeah, the rooms too. I want to try out some of those new rooms. I've done 2 of those videos so far. I've recorded them, and I've used like 10 out of the rooms. I have the next 2 already in my castle. I'm just going to be recording it maybe after this video, or maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure. Depends how I feel after this. Yeah, that Jimbo hurt. Jimbos are like, I don't know. If you could make them hit at a high percentage of the time, it's like 1 potion every Jimbo every Jimbo swing that hits. It's crazy. Alright, boss room, 2 Mega Muttons, Defendatron, and that. I'm really tempted to volley this because it's so close together, but I realize volleying won't do all that much for me. Like, it'll kill the dampener, but it'll make both of these start charging towards me. But I'm gonna do it anyway. Alright, that wasn't so bad. That's the thing about Mega Muttons, if you can make them charge to you really early on in the fight, they'll charge away from the heals. Especially in a boss room area, where it's really wide open. Yeah, I remembered a lot of parts of your castle, though, with the vision thing. I have to get better at that as well. I haven't really played enough in the last patches to like learn everything there is about vision. So let's attack some random castles in like 27 range that I can steal some resources from. Actually, let me see if there's anything that I can upgrade first so I don't waste the life force. Research lab. Let's see what I can... Well, I don't want to upgrade it. I want to research. Okay. Let's see. I don't have any derps in my castle, but I don't really need to upgrade those. I don't have any squidlies. I could upgrade this to 28. The pre-made bosses I could upgrade as well. This takes it to 30 though. I'm not going to do that. 30, 30. Alright. I don't think I have a Dr. Skull. So I could upgrade him, and that'll take 70k, so that's pretty good. Alright. So as you can, this is like my template rooms. Like I'm just using these to record the castle room videos. So I just kind of have them without any traps, just random mobs in here. I haven't went through this video yet, but as like a little preview, you can see what I'm about to say about these rooms. It's like, this room, it's pretty neat, but I don't understand this little pathway here. I wish you could do something like, I don't know, I feel like a destructible wall or something would be way more cool. Something about this little pathway feels like there should be something extra here. Because it's a cool room, like I like the shape of it and everything, except for this pathway. This pathway makes the room so weird. I don't know, it's an interesting room because there's another pathway out here. So as the attacker, if you're coming in this way, you don't know whether your best option is to go down this path here or to go around. It's kind of an interesting room. And then this one's very similar to Linear Corridor or whatever, this one over here. It's just kind of more wide open, I guess. I don't know, it's not a bad room, but I don't really like it that much. Alright, so let's attack some people. Yeah, I've been looted a bunch if you look at my match history. I mean, I'm winning some, but not all that often. Lost there, lost there, lost there. So you can see I'm losing a ton. And then a couple wins. This one guy tried to go through my castle a bunch. He's only level 25. Alright, we'll attack him. Yeah, I mean, timers are just a big deal right now. And, like, in the patch notes, they mentioned that they want people to kill attackers rather than just delay them. Which is great, but a lot of the kill mobs they ruined by adding in camera rotation. Like, Scorpios, they're just so bad now. I guess they're a bit better against knights, but I mean, even then, they don't really damage knights all that much. But with people that have range, it's just so easy to dodge everything, it feels like. I don't know, the game was much more exciting when there wasn't camera rotation. When, like, castles were more dangerous, in my opinion at least. I realize there's, like, some casual players that like it like this or whatever. Actually, I don't think they even like it like this. They're just, like, get annoyed at dying over and over again. But even when the game gets dumbed down, they're gonna complain about it as well. So, I don't know. These guys can actually hurt if you don't take them seriously. Because before I would have aggroed both of them and just kind of stood around and volleyed them. But then they can actually do quite a bit of damage. Like, two of them each get off 2 swings each or something, and it does 1600 damage or whatever. This guy's castle is suboptimal, to say the least. I don't even know. Like, I have no idea why these explodifiers are so out in the open. They have such long range, you need to make use of it. Well, and you need to hit your headshots. I mean, it could favor the attackers or whatever, but if they keep it so that you have, I don't know. Because at absolute endgame right now, the castle level is 32, but the attacker's level is only 30, so I mean, maybe that would help balance it out a little bit. But even still, I think that it's going to be almost impossible for them to balance this game properly. Because every attacker wants to win, every defender wants to win, and there's no real way to balance it. The only way I could see is to make it, I don't know, to make it somehow you could level up your creatures with, like, not level them up, but scale them really, really slowly with, like, I don't know, something that drops when you're attacking or something like that. And then also do the same for your gear on your characters. Like, make really long progression gear and really long progression creatures. Like, say there's, like, a certain gem that drops for, like, I don't know, 3 different types of gems. One for ranged creatures, one for, like, tanky melee creatures, and one for just straight up tanks or something. And then you use those gems to slightly increase their hit points or damage or something like that. And then on the same respect, you have, like, player gear that can be slowly plussed up or something. So that way the people who have actually put in the more time or put in, like, strategy based on specific sets of units will have a better chance at defending rather than people who, I don't know, I don't know. I guess that doesn't really work either, but that's just an idea. I don't know. It's going to be really hard to balance this game. I feel bad for the devs. Like, it's a great idea, but I don't think it ever will be balanced to the point where no one will be complaining. But I mean, there's valid concerns right now with the majority of creatures being kind of useless. Mainly it's just elites that are usable right now, in my opinion. And I guess Defendatrons with certain units. Yeah, I mean, that's like the only way that I could see it being balanced for what the player has actually put into the game. Like, you'll be attacking someone and you won't know if, hey, is this castle like really, really good? Or if this is this castle someone who hasn't really focused on defense, is mainly focused on offense or something. That or some changes to rewards where you can actually have a decent amount of rewards for defending a castle as well as like attacking it. Or just different ways of dropping gear, like make it so, I don't know, make it so like you have to put a boss, make the bosses viable, put a boss in the boss room, and then have it drop a ton of life force and gold instead of dropping so much out of the chests, and maybe an item or something. I also feel like that's a problem too, is item drops shouldn't be just focused on, like, you get a fixed amount based on the amount of defense points and level that you attack, or whatever. It should be, if you kill an elite, it drops, like, yellow or above. If you kill, I mean, that might be too good, but if you kill a boss, it's gotta be, you know, a yellow or above gear. If you drop an elite, kill an elite, it's gotta be, you know, green or above, or something like that. I think the way gear drop should be changed a little bit. Then dirt farms won't be nearly as big of a deal because you could lower the overall drop rate. Yeah, crowns could be used for that.
Thanks for the bankroll.
Yeah, alright. This guy's got a lot of life force, but it's going to max me out again. I'll do this for gold.
Hope you don't mind a little friendly visit.
Yeah, I was trying to say something like that in term, like, when I first started the game, I was like, why can't they just have an exchange system for crowns? Like, even if it was ridiculous, like 10,000 crowns for 100 bling or something, just some way to gain bling without actually paying money. I don't know, I like that sort of business model. Like, make it really difficult to get the in-game currency, the paid currency like that, because I realize the game has to make money, right? So make it difficult on the person, but at least allow them to grind, because it actually makes people play the game for something to strive for, you know? Kind of like with League of Legends, how they do it, like with their influence points. It's not technically riot points, but you can at least gain access to certain parts of the game by just playing it. I realize you can't get, you know, skins and stuff like that, and that could be something they could think about. I think Dota 2 does something like that, where you can get the skins for the heroes by playing the game and like getting chests or whatever. Although I think you have to pay for the keys. I don't know. Yeah, they have achievements, but it only gives you a certain number of bling. Like, you can't, with the amount of customization that they're going to give you, I don't know. I haven't gotten any of the themes or anything yet because I'm not sure what they're going to come out with. Like, I really like the spooky theme, and I've thought about getting it. And if they keep doing those level 30 competitions for bling, I think that'd be pretty cool. Because I have a feeling I could at least place decently high in those when I get up to level 30. Yeah, but isn't there also like a chance that the item just drops? Because I think I have something for like Crystal Maiden or whatever in there. I don't know. I've been playing Dota pretty recently, quite a bit. Mainly because my friend wanted to play with me and I realized how much I suck now. I played like so many hours of the first Dota. Then I played and I fed so badly, like 310 or something. So I had to get better again. I can't handle not being good at all games. I should be reading the questions that I'm answering so that people that watch the VOD actually know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I mean, I like that sort of business model, or at least something similar to it. Oh god, that actually almost hit me. Why did that almost hit me? I guess I just wasn't paying attention, because there's no reason that should have. Let's just take a look. I was coming through here. Okay, maybe this wall was blocking it a little bit. I was coming in here, and I might have been hugging this wall, and then it did that kind of visual trick. But if you hug up towards the top, you can see it. I must have been down here. And I was coming in, I didn't notice the springboard trap. But yeah, I mean, getting gear this way, and I mean leveling to a certain extent as well, is a lot slower than either running that Snauder farm or running a dirt farm. I haven't even gotten any sort of epic or legendary since I've started just running random castles. Mainly it's just like the time that it takes to get through a castle, I guess. And that's what makes people not really want to run these castles, because in general, like these resources, gold and life force, are kind of worthless. People are going to spend a lot more time getting gear than farming up life force and gold. That's why I wish you could have the option of either like drop 2 items or drop golden life force when I go into a castle or something. I select one of them, and it's like green or above or yellow or above at the end of the castle. That'd be kind of cool. I've seen some pumpkins. Does it go along with the spooky theme, or is there something different? Because that was in this castle, the Snauder Fortress that I was talking about earlier. Maybe you weren't here quite yet, but I was talking about this castle being pretty good at getting items and getting levels for anyone that's like 28 and under. I guess not 28, but 27 and under, up to 28. Because you can just kind of kite these all the way to the end, kind of like dirt farming. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen them then, with the spider webs. Alright, so I need to actually find these Defendatrons this time. I feel like maybe they changed up this castle slightly, but I doubt they actually would have done that. I might just be going the wrong way. It should be right up in here somewhere where the Defendatrons are. Right here, there we go, that's better. Gotta kill these Defendatrons. Well, I might have trouble killing this one now. I was going the wrong way though, now that I remember. Now that I see this area. I always used to come from the bottom when I was doing this castle by myself. Alright, we're good though. We can kite these to the end. Maybe kill one of these dampeners on the way. Alright, there we go. I don't know, to me this is a lot easier than actually running castles.
Just what the doctor ordered.
That's why I think they need to address that specifically, is like give reasons to people to run castles, not just life force and gold, because it's not worth it enough. That's why people love derp farming. Well, I mean, it was boring as hell, but it at least got you what you want. And I mean, it wouldn't even take me all that long if I wanted to just sit here and find dirt farms. It's really only hurting the people that can't get access to this area yet.
Another successful job for Black Eye Bogart.
Yeah, I actually still have this guy, and I could just run him. And it's so much quicker.
Is this what passes for a castle these days?
Plus you can run this with magic find gear, which helps a ton. Although I'd still like to find a chicken farm. That would be the absolute best for gear and leveling. I could probably get to level 30 in a couple of hours if I found a good chicken farm like Gatsu or something.
Ready to go. You're okay in my books.
Gold is still pretty useful for defense and beginning to attack. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I still use gold for buildings and stuff, but the problem is I've been at level 24 for a while. I guess if you were constantly leveling up your castles, like I have one upgrade going right now because I'm about to level up to 28 fully. But I mean, I have maxed on almost everything. Which is, I guess, why, at least at the end game, resources in general are just useless. I still have to level this up, but I have to wait for my summoning portal to finish. Which should be the last rank of summoning portal, so then I'll have the last rank of research lab, and then I'll be done. Which is also another reason why I was a little bit scared that I heard them say something about they weren't ready to raise the level cap or whatever. But what I was expecting is, like, when the game was released, they would already have 30 to 60 more levels, like, ready to come out. Like, they were programming, like, the release of the game on the side of actually like the closed beta, because I know Ubisoft does that pretty regularly with games. Kind of like, I don't know if anybody played the Diablo 3 beta, but you have like the first act, and then when the game releases, you have a ton more content that you get to play through. That's what I was expecting from this game. Which it still could be that way. Alright, so let's try to attack like level 28 castles, although they're going to have explodifiers everywhere.
Watch and learn.
I think I remember Omegalus said he wanted me to run his castle as well in the comments, so I will run his castle so that when he watches it, it'll be there. This is gonna be like the longest upload to YouTube ever. It's gonna take me like 8 hours. This castle has 2 different directions, and it looks like this could be the right one. Ooh, Cyclops are level 7 at 28 as well. I'm gonna have fun with that castle upgrade actually. I have a ton of ideas of what to do with explodifiers and rank 7 Cyclopses. Mainly just being annoying as hell with them, like everybody else is to me.
Thanks for the boost.
So I have no idea what's going on in this castle. I feel like I could have skipped half of this already. I don't understand how people have castles like this like, is this gonna be completely a dead end at the end of this? Like, what's going on? This has got to be like the easiest castle to loot if you just don't go this way. All of this was just fake. That cannot be right. But apparently it was. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me how these castles are actually just a thing. Like, how have people... This is why I don't understand if these are the people that are like posting on the forums saying that the game's too hard or something, and like, I don't know. It's obviously going to be impossible to defend, which I'm all for defending buffs right now because I feel like it's just super weak and all of the creatures are just kind of pointless. I mean, not all of them, but a good majority. But in general, if you attack like you're defending, I don't know, guys. This person needs to watch some frenzy videos. Because even if I did fail this castle, I could just redo it, and it would be so much quicker just going the correct way. Once I learned his layout. It makes no sense to do a gimmick like this. Like, I was all for multiple kill zones that you could dodge if you played it completely perfectly. But these ones are crazy. I've actually never faced this boss. I think I've only faced him once inside of a... No, I don't think I've ever faced him. What does he do? He doesn't move, I know that much. He should also not have these mines here because it's helping me. If I just stand behind these mines, I'll never get hit by this guy. And I could just volley him over and over and over again. I guess I am getting hit, but very little. I mean, I can go through it on my knight right now. If you just give me your in-game name, I'll go through it. It won't be all that difficult for me, but I can at least, like, you know, run through it and give you some advice based on what I see. I'm gonna attack this guy though. He's got 100,000 resources. You can do that too as well. Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember. You're like Adam to the second power on this game, right? I think I have you already on the viewer castle list, if I remember correctly. I think I have you added to my friends list. So if you want to create a challenge, go ahead. Why is this so much harder to kill? I guess maybe because it's level 28? I don't know. Oh god. Oh god. Oh, well, it didn't actually even kill me. It didn't do any damage to me, actually. It's like the first one of these I've gotten hit by in a month. And it didn't even do any damage. What I do have to say is that if I had blacksmith gear, the game would be quite a bit harder. I tried doing that last patch or something. The patch where the camera rotation came out, I was going to do a series of videos on me going through castles with blacksmith gear, but it was actually quite a bit harder, like it was noticeably harder. I do like ballistas for this purpose, for killing explodifiers. My last bow is much worse than at doing this. Alright, I'll get to it when I get out of this castle. Really? Stairmasters can't hit on a Hungerbot pole. Is that actually a thing? Really? That's crazy. I didn't hear anything about that. Is it in the patch notes or something? Or is it just a stealth nerf they threw in? They have to land before anything hits. So, like, they have damage immunity while they're in the air through a Hungerbot pole? That's crazy terrible. I don't understand why they're doing this. They already gave camera rotation, that's enough. Oh my god. I actually thought that this was going to be a good patch, too. I was like, well, these are actually some good changes. That's so bad. Like, people really want to turn this into, like, World of Warcraft. They just want to sit there and kite monsters all day. That's pretty sad. So for anybody who didn't catch that that's watching the VODs, apparently, and I haven't tested it, but someone basically said Stairmasters can no longer hit you while you're being pulled by a Hungerbot. So basically, while you're in the air from a Hungerbot pull, you have complete damage immunity, which is like so terrible because they can't combo with anything now. You have to land before they can. So basically, as soon as I land, I can roll, and I will get out of literally anything. Because at that point, once I roll, I'll have 200% block chance or whatever for 2 seconds. So I can't take any damage when someone's trying to do that. Which is pretty crazy, I have to say. Something you also can see is that, well, I couldn't really do it correctly. You can do it with Caltrops, though, is basically if you get far enough away from smelly warriors, using camera rotation, you can actually hit them when they have their shield thing. Shield specialization. It's pretty difficult to do though, but their shield goes down at a certain range. You can see right there I did a little bit of damage. You have to slow them to really be able to kill them while they're doing that. Yeah, but I feel like if archers were just spamming roll like I do, I don't think you're ever going to hit them with more than maybe a couple of their eyeballs. Bubbly things. Which is pretty crazy. I don't know, I really hate that change. And like, pulling people into fire mines, maybe that would work, maybe the delay would be just right, but I don't know. This castle's actually forced me to use quite a few potions. I really did have high hopes for this game, but I don't know. They're like, I realize that you want to listen to casual gamers a lot of the time because like that's a pretty big majority of what the gamer base is. I mean, I realized that when I was playing StarCraft, like with League of Legends being so much more popular and stuff like that. Like League of Legends does have a really big in-depth game to it, but it's very basic, like as just getting into the game. It's pretty easy to play and just pick up and start playing it, and like to get really good at it, you do have to be pretty good. But the learning curve is not nearly as big as StarCraft, at least in my opinion. Yeah, blows to traps are still probably the best damage for the trap. I've replaced the majority of mine as well. A Mittens with a Count Snottingham. Interesting. I'm pretty sure it's useless. I mean, he does shoot pretty fast. But, I don't know. Is it really worth that many points? Actually, it's not bad. I'll have to say this is one thing that's not terribly bad in his castle. He made me use all of my potions, so for a lesser archer, he probably would have died. I mean, I guess Stairmaster pulls were already so nerfed that I wouldn't have really used them, but there's no way I'm putting one back in my castle now. Alright, Adam. You can see all of these, like, view results for these castle rewards. Some of them are from previous patches, and there's actually a bug where if you have a challenge created and then it ends, and then a patch happens, it won't allow you to view the results and take the gold or, like, close the challenge. So for any of these people who have sent me challenges, I won't ever be able to get a challenge unless we like delete the friendship and then remake it. The photo has a challenge for me, I'll have to accept that in a little bit. There we go, add them too. Alright. I'll play it on my knight, since I'm not going to get any experience anyway. I'm just wondering, is that... I wonder if it's an intended patch or if it's like a bug. Like, what did they change in this patch that would make that be a bug? That's what I'm kind of wondering. Like, what could they have done that would have screwed them up? Alright, so I need to pay attention. Alright, so this first thing here, I've said it a couple times where I personally would prefer only one Cyclops on charge in any group, because you're already getting the utility out of one of them by pushing them back, and you don't quite have the stun yet, but once you get up to level 4 it'll be a stun as well. And I would just add another archer for the DPS. I think this group is fine for mainly a time waster. But in terms of actually killing someone, Hungerbot plus Defendatron won't do the job. And the problem is, it's really hard to waste enough time for people these days. Alright. I think Puppeteers on this specialization is fine for your level. Eventually they'll get pretty bad. Even against me, I'm able to one-shot these skeletons. But I mean, a lot of my skills are still for level 19. It only changes the level, like the tiering, basically, when you use the challenge system. So it's not really amazing. I like this though. I like the Hungerbot plus Zeke. That's good, a good majority, like a good chance of damage right there. There was supposed to be a chain pull somewhere. Well, chain pulling in general is like nerfed to all hell right now. I don't know exactly how you needed it to work. But yeah. I think it's, for the majority of people, it's too late. I have actually like a ton of European viewers, so I feel bad that I was like screwing them over. The problem is, for me it's like, you know, 10 p.m. and I work overnights for my job, so this is like perfect time for me to be like the most awake. Like I wake up at around 7 p.m. and go to sleep at like noon or something, so it's kind of perfect timing for me. This is about usually when I record videos for YouTube, so I figured it was a good time to stream, but yeah. Poor European viewers. Although, for what time would it, what area of the world would you be in for it to be like lunchtime for you? I'm guessing that's in Europe as well, or I don't know, Asia? I have no idea. Oh, Australia. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, this is actually starting to hurt. I need to concentrate a little bit more. I wasn't paying attention to what the Scorpio did. Did he not fire his hook, or did it, like, not pull me, or did I dodge it? I'm confused. I don't really know. I just sort of go through castles and I don't really pay attention sometimes. He didn't even wake up. Interesting. I mean, I'm sure there's some reason for it, I just don't know exactly what it was. He might have been like too close to the hero or something like that. Like there's a couple things in their AI where they will choose to try to go for a bite rather than a hook. So if I like round a corner, like if there was a Scorpio right here and I round the corner, he wouldn't try to hook me, he would just come towards me for a bite and I could just pull him. Or if I initiated it with a lashing flames or something, then he would have been stunned and then I could have hit him like once and then kicked him away, and that might have killed him without being able to do any damage whatsoever as well. Knights are quite good. Like this Jimbo, if I do it right, I can kill him without him ever getting a hit off on me. Well, he's on the different specialization that I was used to. But for the over-the-head swing specialization, yeah, he's actually on the Resurrect specialization. So something I want to talk about with this is, I'm not sure if they fixed it, but there used to be a bug where like you only have a level 1 Jimbo anyway, but for level 2 and above and stuff like that, when a Jimbo resurrects himself, same with a Smelly Warrior, he only resurrects as level 1, no matter what. So it's something to keep in mind when you get up to like level 2 Jimbos, that they probably won't be working properly. Either way, Jimbos aren't really all that strong, in my opinion. Or not on this specialization. On the over-the-heads one is the only one that I could see it being useful. I mean, like, I guess it's okay. It's gonna keep resurrecting them. I guess this is a pretty good spot for this, because you're constantly getting heals off, and the Jimbos are all just gonna keep resurrecting, and Skeleton Warriors and stuff. This is a pretty good spot for this specialization, I have to be honest. I like this quite a bit. They still die pretty easily to me, though. I think they only res once. I'm not 100% sure. But obviously he'd be resurrecting now if they res more than once, so... If they kept resurrecting, that would be actually a pretty decent buff that they should look into. I think that would be pretty cool. There could be some neat things you could do with that. And I don't think it would be super overpowered either. I guess in certain circumstances it could be, but I feel like that's what the game needs, is things to work together in different combinations that, like, are slightly overpowered. I guess people would just use it over and over and over again, though, and that would be the problem that you would have. Yep, no problem. Alright, so let's get back. I want to get to level 28, so let's see if this dirt farm is still up for me. I'm just going to run this until I get to 28, and then we've been going for an hour and 15 minutes, so it'll probably be like an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, and then we'll stop.
What's yours will soon be mine.
I mean, the Jimbos themselves on that specialization are pretty weak, so I don't know if it would be that OP, but it would be fun. I should put on my gear, on my Magic Find gear for this, but I'm kind of lazy. I just like watching my XP bar fill up as I do this. Feels so good. Yeah, people will be able to watch the VODs. The problem is, I haven't really been saying the questions or saying what I'm responding to. So, as I'm talking, people will have absolutely no idea. Like, maybe I can copy and paste the Twitch chat in and, like, somehow have it scrolling or something. I don't know. For the VOD. I have no idea what I could do. But I don't think I'm going to do any editing onto this video because it would literally kill my computer to render it. To like re-render the video again in like Sony Vegas or something. So I'll probably just leave it as is, and people will be able to get the certain things that I just like kind of say. But for all of the Twitch chat, they're gonna be like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Except for that Stairmaster thing, that's crazy. I really hope that's a bug. I could copy it into the comments, I guess. Yeah, that would work. There's not too much. I could probably do that. And then they could at least try to figure out where in the Twitch chat I am. Because it doesn't really have times or anything for me. Or I could copy it into like the description, actually. Comments, it would take too much space. I think description is close to unlimited.
Thanks for the banquet.
Alright, hold on.
You're going to be far poorer 3 minutes from now.
I'm putting on my Magic Find gear. Or at least some of it. I'm gonna probably skip the stuff that, like, takes my DPS down the most. So that I can still one-shot stuff. So that's 16%. That's a little bit better than nothing. Because if I go down to...
Hope you don't mind a little friendly visit.
Oh, you just put the last room onto your castle. Yeah, I'll have to empty my pack, because if I find a legendary or something, I'm rage quitting off of this stream. If I found a legendary and I couldn't pick it up, it would be all over. Oh man, that's the worst feeling in the world. I actually bugged my account because apparently the game can't handle this, but back when there was no potion limit and there was 20 potions, I had like a good majority of my inventory filled up with potions because I was using it to spend gold because I was maxed out in gold. And what I did was I just kept using potions so that I used an entire stack of potions. And what I figured was, okay, now I'm going to have one space open, right? So then I used it, and I was able to pick up the item, but then as soon as I left the castle, the game like bugged out on me, and it had no idea, like, it just said network error, and it was like not allowing me to log in at all. It was kind of annoying.
Plenty more where that came from.
So I just kept using potions over and over again. It allows you to pick up the item, but I don't suggest doing it because the game does not like you doing that. I wish they could just allow you to go into the inventory. You have enough time nowadays with the timers how they are. I think anything you leave on the castle floor should be like given to the defender. What was that? That was some new proc that I got. I don't know what it was though. I think blessed armor it looked like. I didn't see it though. But if I had to guess, that's what it was. Actually, that's something that you can do though. If you picked up something inside of the level, like a green or something, and you don't want that, and like your inventory fills up. So like, I pick up a bunch of greens and some whites or whatever inside of a castle, and then towards the end, a legendary or an epic drops, and I want that. You can actually let yourself die and then resurrect on top of the item, and it will pick up it'll prioritize the good items over the bad. So it'll pick up the epics first, and then you should leave with that item. I think I did that and it worked before. Needless to say, I've had a lot of times where I have my bags full, and I've had to leave behind good items. So yeah, let's do that.
Like the better man won.
Plus 7% loot quality, that's crazy. I think I'm gonna probably use that. What do I lose? Just the blessed armor. Yeah, I'm gonna use that. It's 1 extra %. Not much, but it might add up. %. It's the same as I have already. Terrible items. This one was okay. I was looking at this and I think I could use that on my knight eventually. Health, magic armor. Like, it's good for knights because they can build defensive and actually be, like, worthwhile. But archers really need to kill things, I think. In my opinion, at least. Yeah, seriously, white and grays, I don't even see why they're in the game. No one will ever use one. Because, like, yellow of, like, level 3 is better than gray at, like, level 27. It's crazy. Because it's really only stats. A lot of the things don't even have base damage or base armor, it's just the stats. That actually hurt quite a bit. Yeah, they said something, Sand Soldier, they said something in one of the dev talks or whatever that they have. They talked about why they didn't allow you to go into the gear or whatever, and there's some problem with the way that they programmed it, I'm pretty sure. That's how it sounded like to me, where they can't actually do it without like reprogramming a big part of their code, which kind of sucks. Like, it handles gear when you leave the castle, not when you are inside of it or whatever. Like, because how the game is right now, I'm actually playing this on my computer. There's no connection whatsoever to the server. This is all like client-sided. The castle gets sent to me, gets sent to my computer, and then it gets loaded onto my computer. Whereas for a lot of games, it's like played on the server, and it like checks your gear as you pick it up. I guess a lot of the stuff is client-sided for like MMOs and stuff, but like the monster AI and whatever, I think a lot of it's handled. But it like does checks, whereas this game doesn't really do checks. That's why there was a problem with botting or hacking or whatever previously in this game. And what they did is when you leave this castle, it does a check with the system that like your actions mirror what's going to be sent in the replay or something. It basically can detect if you have valid actions and stuff like that. I don't know. And that's how they do their anti-hack or whatever system. But anyway, all of the items are handled when you leave a castle, so it doesn't even like send item information to your computer or whatever. It's the way that I got it, at least when they were talking about it. Yeah, I have actually a video of it on my YouTube channel. It's from pretty far. It's like from long ago. I'm getting tired. From long ago. I can actually play it though because it's my video. I don't think it would be a problem. There can't be any like copyright issues since it's my video, so I could play it for you guys. Let's see if I can find it on my second monitor as I'm playing this game. There we go. It's only a 2-minute video. I had a hacker come through my dungeon just an hour ago. His name's Lysergic, level 20 archer. Made it in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. And got my loot, you can see it here. And you might ask me, you know, why I think he's a hacker. And we'll take a look at his gear. He's an archer, level 20 with 179 DPS. He's got pretty much, you know, no... Oh wait, you guys can't see this. Hold on. It's because I have game capture instead of window capture. I don't know how hard this is going to be able to change while I'm live. Here, let me just send you guys the link. I think that should work. What's up, guys? I'm Frenzy, and Frenzy, be quiet. There. Yeah, you guys have probably, like some of you guys who've been following my channel for a while. It's like a 2-minute video. But yeah, that's basically how the hack was before. Is basically it wouldn't even send you a proper replay when you went into it. I don't know. You can basically see how it works. But now I think they do tests based on the replay. Like they check it to make sure it's proper or something, and then flag the account. All right, I think I'm gonna level up next time I go through here. Yeah, I should.
Let's get him, Mr. Pointy.
Alright, so finding dirt farms, it's actually pretty easy if you have access to the level 30 region. I was talking about this earlier in the stream. Basically, like, if you don't have access to that and you have access to the one before it, there's an NPC castle which is pretty good for farming. It's like the next best thing to dirt farming or chicken farming. Snau Fortress. You can basically pull to the end of that. All you need to do is kill off the Defendatrons as you go past them. There's 2 of them in there. If you kill off those Defendatrons, you'll have no problem just volleying it down. But if you have access to the level 30 region, if you just refresh and look for 0 crown people, or look for common dirt farm names, you can find them pretty easily. Like, it takes less than 5 minutes for me to find a dirt farm most of these times. And the reason behind it, mainly, is because these castles don't have any loot left. They've all quit the game. And so, if a castle doesn't have any loot, its shield doesn't go up, so it actually gets displayed more often, because it's not shielded. And there's so few players at level 30 region that it's pretty easy to find. I mean, I guess it sort of feels cheap, but do I really want to spend like hours upon hours upon hours grinding for items when I can just do this. I don't know. It's like farming in any other MMO in my opinion. I mean, is farming in other like RPGs, is that cheap? It's just kind of a tactic that people do. That's the way I look at it, at least. I mean, there's PvP in WoW, but you can also farm your gear, so I don't know. Well, actually, I have no idea. I don't play WoW anymore, but I haven't played it since like level 60 expansion or whatever. Level 70? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, if you're super, super low level, it'll be difficult. Alright, let's level up my archer. So now that I'm level 28, or yeah, level 28, I'm not going to be able to use that anymore. I'll have to use like level 28 and above stuff because I want to find gear for my level. Cool, headshot upgrade. Alright. But yeah, I'll run it really quick. One more time. Snauter Fortress, it's a level 27 castle. It's a pretty good stepping stone though. I'm pretty sure you could do this at like level 22 or so. I was able to get access to the level 30, whatever, 30 to 34, 30, what is it, 28 to 34? I don't know, or 32 region, when I was level 24. It's pretty easy to defeat boss castles, so. Alright, I think I'm going the right way this time. Yeah, so right here you'll have one Defendatron. Whoops, that I headshotted the wrong way, which makes it a lot more difficult for me. And then another Defendatron right here. And it's really... Okay, well I might die because I'm screwing up, but it's only those two Defendatrons that is the problem. Once you kill those, you can just volley this to death. Yeah, the pre-mades are quite easy. I have a little bit of trouble with the last pre-made castle, only because it was so much higher level than I was. I was trying to do that at level 24 and I wasn't quite able to do it. I should be able to do it now though. But I mean, yeah, you can see it's a pretty good area to farm if you can't find dirt farms. Like, I would say this is only slightly worse. The main problem is if something gets stuck. It seems like creatures tend to get stuck in this castle quite often. But I'm sure that there's some way that you could fix it, you know? But basically, if the door is down when you get done with the castle and you have to go back through and backtrack to find the last creature in it, that's the only thing that slows you down. But it's not too bad. Yeah, I mean, the only incentive that I have now to level up is that there's those level 30 challenges that the community managers are doing. I wouldn't mind taking place in those because that would be pretty fun. But I was level 24 for 2 months or so. So I'm going to go up to level 30.
The result was never in question.
Yeah, I could try the level 32 boss, but I think it would take a ridiculous amount of time. Alright, I'll do it. This will be the last thing that I do before I end the stream. Or try to. Yeah, I've left mine at level 24 for a while. I don't know. It's pretty difficult to get people to run your castle because there's not many active players right now. Like, level 24 seems like the highest active area. Level 30 has gotten a little bit more active now that there's actually challenges and people are like farming gear and stuff like that. Like, I'm just getting owned by traps right now. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to do this.
I don't go down that
Yeah, there's just no way. I would have to actually be focused to be able to do this. I'll probably wait until I'm level 30. Yeah, those traps are crazy.
Let's go to work.
I don't know why people are so adamant about dirt farms being a problem. I mean, I guess you can get really good gear if you spend the time to do it. I don't know. Either way, you're going to be able to get good gear if you really want to. I mean, that's the main problem, right? Is because if people have gear like me, I'm able to walk through almost any castle, like, at my level or higher, without too many problems. I was able to do 26 castles pretty easily, with my level 24 archer when I had my gear. And I got the majority of it from dirt farming. But it was much easier to find gear back then as well, because it wasn't random stats, it was mostly just, like, set to pretty decent stats. Now you can find stuff with really crappy stats, which is all I've found so far since this patch came out. Out of about 10 epics and legendaries. Well, they're talking about changing how traps work in like the next couple updates, and allowing you to have like different set traps that have multiple traps in one room, but I don't know exactly how they're going to do it. Did I say trap skills? I meant like trap layouts where you have a specific room that allows you to have multiple traps in one room without worrying about the combining traps together. That's kind of what I meant. Kind of like boss castles, basically, where you have multiple traps in one room that wouldn't be normal, like wouldn't be allowed to have in castles that players build, I guess. They don't have the same restrictions. I don't know. But yeah. I think we're probably going to end the stream coming up shortly here. So if you guys have any final questions, you can ask them. And, you know, maybe I'll do some of these in the future. Maybe I can actually figure out how to make YouTube streaming thing work. I kind of wanted to try it to see how it worked, but I guess maybe I got my answer. They are actually changing the way that they do streaming in November 1st, so maybe they'll work out some of their bugs with that. I don't know. Thanks, Wicked. I appreciate it. So yeah. If anybody from Twitch has just kind of randomly found my channel, I do have a YouTube channel over on youtube.com/user/frenzygaming31, and you can check that out for some of my videos. I do quite a bit of stuff over there. Alright, thanks guys. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. Probably get back to doing the new castle room videos in a little bit here, going over all of those. So definitely check those out. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you guys later.